You wake up, and already there's this list forming in your head. Things you need to finish. Things you said you'd start yesterday. Things that aren't even urgent, but somehow feel heavy anyway. And you tell yourself, today I'll get it done. Today I'll push through. But by mid-afternoon, you're staring at your screen or your phone, and nothing's moving forward. Not because you don't care, not because you're lazy. You're just empty, like someone pulled the plug and forgot to tell you. So you push anyway. You force yourself to focus. You drink another coffee. You tell yourself it's discipline. But the truth is, you're running on fumes, and tomorrow it starts all over again. You're not avoiding work. You're avoiding the feeling that no matter how much you do, it's never quite enough. That you have to choose between getting things done and having anything left for yourself. And maybe that's where you are right now. Tired of being tired, but not sure how to stop the cycle without everything falling apart. This happens to a lot of people, more than we talk about. Adults with full calendars, people juggling work, family, side projects, expectations they didn't even set for themselves. They wake up early. They stay up late. They check things off. And still, they feel behind. Because productivity, the way most people approach it, isn't designed for sustainability. It's designed for output, for more, for faster. It assumes you have unlimited energy, or that you should. But energy isn't unlimited, and treating it like it is, that's where the problem starts. Many of us were taught that productivity is about time management, about doing more in less time, about optimizing every hour. And so we pack our days. We say yes when we mean maybe. We work through lunch. We answer emails at night. We tell ourselves we're being efficient. But efficiency without energy is just exhaustion in motion. You can have the perfect schedule and still feel like you're drowning. Because the real issue isn't how you're spending your time, it's how you're spending your energy. And most people don't track that. They don't protect it. They don't even notice it's gone until they're already running on empty. And here's the thing. Burnout doesn't announce itself. It builds quietly. One skipped break, one night of bad sleep, 1 week of saying yes to everything, until one day you realize you can't remember the last time you felt genuinely rested. That's not a failure of discipline. That's a system that wasn't built to last. I used to think the problem was me, that I just needed to try harder, be more focused, cut out distractions. And for a while, that worked. I got more done, but I also got more tired, more irritable, more disconnected from the reasons I was doing any of it in the same place. It took a long time to realize productivity isn't the enemy, but the way I was chasing it was. Because I wasn't asking the right question. I was asking, how do I do more, when I should have been asking, how do I keep going without breaking? And that shift, that changed everything. See, most productivity advice treats energy like it's a given. Like if you just follow the right steps, everything else will fall into place. But energy isn't a given, it's a resource. And like any resource, it can be managed, or it can be drained. The difference is in how you approach the day, not just what you do, but how you do it. Not just how much you accomplish, but how much of yourself you have left after. Real productivity, sustainable productivity, isn't about doing everything. It's about doing what matters without emptying the tank. And that requires a different kind of thinking, one that doesn't glorify hustle, one that doesn't mistake exhaustion for effort, one that understands that rest isn't a reward for working hard, it's part of the work itself. So let's talk about energy, not in some abstract motivational way, but in a practical, everyday sense. Energy isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional. It's the capacity to focus, to make decisions, to stay present. And every single thing you do pulls from that capacity. Even the small things, especially the small things. Checking your phone while you eat, saying yes when you wanted to say no, switching between tasks without finishing any of them, worrying about things you can't control. Each one takes a little bit. And by the end of the day, you wonder why you're so drained when you didn't even do that much. Because you were doing everything, just not intentionally. Intention is what separates productive energy from wasted energy. It's the difference between working for 3 hours and feeling accomplished, and working for 8 hours and feeling like you got nothing done. When you're intentional, you're not just busy, you're directed. You know what you're doing and why. You're not reacting, you're choosing. And that makes all the difference. But intention requires clarity, and clarity requires space. And space, that's the thing most people don't give themselves. We fill every gap, every pause, every moment of potential stillness. We scroll, we plan, we worry, we optimize. And in doing that, we lose the ability to reset, to recharge, to come back to center. Productivity without space is just noise. It feels like movement, but it's not progress. It's just motion. And motion without direction wears you down faster than doing nothing at all. So the first principle here isn't about doing more. It's about protecting what you have, your energy, your focus, your ability to show up as someone who's present, not just performing. And that starts with recognizing where your energy actually goes, not where you think it goes, where it actually goes. Let's say you're working on something important, a project, a task, something that requires focus. But every few minutes, your phone lights up, or someone messages you, or you remember something you forgot to do. And each time, you switch, just for a second, just to check. But here's what happens in your brain. Every time you switch, there's a cost, a cognitive cost. It takes energy to shift attention, and it takes even more energy to get back to where you were. That's called switching cost, and most people don't realize how much it's draining them. You think you're multitasking, but your brain isn't built for that. It's built for depth, for focus, for doing one thing well. And every time you pull it away, you're spending energy you didn't budget for. So by the end of the day, you're exhausted. Not because you worked too hard, but because you worked in a way that constantly interrupted your flow, that fragmented your attention, that turned every task into 10 smaller ones. And that's where the shift needs to happen. Not in doing less, but in doing things in a way that doesn't bleed energy. You protect your focus by setting boundaries, not rigid ones, not unrealistic ones, but real ones. Boundaries that say, this hour is for this, and during this hour, I'm not available for anything else, unless it's urgent. And most things aren't. You protect your energy by saying no, not to everything, but to the things that don't serve you. The things that drain more than they give. The things you say yes to out of guilt or obligation or fear of disappointing someone. Because every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. And after a while, you realize you've spent your best energy on things you didn't even care about. Let's bring this into real life. Let's say it's Monday morning. You have a full day ahead. Work, meetings, errands, maybe something personal you've been trying to get to all week. You wake up, and the first thing you do is check your phone, emails, messages, news, social media, and just like that, your brain is already in reactive mode. You haven't even started your day, and you're already responding to everyone else's. That's not a small thing. That's a pattern, and patterns shape energy. Now imagine this instead. You wake up, you don't check your phone, not yet. You make coffee, you sit, you breathe. You think about the 1 or 2 things that actually matter today. Not everything, just the core things. The things that, if you did nothing else, you'd still feel okay. You write them down, or you just hold them in your mind. And you decide, these come first. Before the emails, before the noise, before the urgency of other people's needs. That's not selfish, that's strategic. That's how you make sure your energy goes where it needs to go, not where it's easiest to give it away. And then you start. You work on that first thing. Not perfectly, not for hours. Just start. And you give it your full attention. No phone, no tabs open, no distractions you can control. And something shifts. Because you're not scattered anymore. You're focused. And focus feels different. It feels like progress. Like you're actually moving towards something, not just managing chaos. By mid-morning, you've done the thing that matters. Maybe you finish it, maybe you don't. But you made real progress. And that feeling, that's what carries you through the rest of the day. Because now, when the distractions come, they don't pull you under. You've already done what you needed to do. Everything else is just extra. And that changes the energy you bring to it. You're not desperate. You're not frantic. You're steady. And steady is sustainable. This applies to everything, not just work, conversations, decisions, even rest. Let's say you finish your work for the day. You're tired. You want to relax. So you open your phone. You scroll. You watch something. You scroll some more. And an hour later, you're still tired. Maybe more tired. Because you didn't rest. You just consumed. Rest isn't passive. Real rest is intentional. It's doing something that actually restores you, not something that numbs you, not something that fills time, something that gives back. For some people, that's a walk. For others, it's reading, or cooking, or sitting in silence, or talking to someone they care about. It's different for everyone, but the point is the same. Rest should leave you more full than when you started, not more empty. And if it doesn't, it's not rest. It's just distraction. And distraction drains energy the same way overwork does, just slower, just quieter. So when you think about staying productive without burning out, it's not about working harder, or longer, or smarter in the way most people mean it. It's about designing your days in a way that honors your energy, that protects it, that spends it wisely, that refills it when it's low. It's about knowing that some days you'll have more to give, and some days you won't, and both are okay. Because productivity isn't a straight line, it's a rhythm, and rhythms have peaks and valleys, and if you only chase the peaks, you'll crash. I keep coming back to this space because it helps me think clearly. It helps me remember that progress doesn't have to feel frantic, that doing good work doesn't mean sacrificing everything else, that there's a way to move forward without falling apart. And I think that's what a lot of us are looking for. Not a formula, not a hack, just a way to keep going that doesn't cost us everything. If that resonates with you, then maybe this is a space worth returning to. Not because I have all the answers, but because sometimes it helps to hear someone else say what you've been feeling. To know you're not the only one trying to figure this out. To be reminded that it's okay to move at your own pace. I'll keep showing up here, thinking out loud, sharing what's working, what's not, what I'm learning as I go. And if that's useful to you, then I'm glad you're here. You don't have to do everything today. You don't have to fix everything at once. You just have to take the next step. The one that makes sense. The one you actually have energy for. And maybe tomorrow you'll have a little more. Or maybe you won't. But either way, you'll still be moving. Still learning. Still building something that lasts. Not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. And because you didn't burn yourself out trying to prove something that didn't need proving. You already know how to work hard. The question now is, do you know how to work in a way that doesn't break you? That's the thing worth figuring out. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small decisions, in boundaries you set, in things you stop doing because they don't serve you anymore, in moments where you choose rest over guilt, focus over noise, clarity over chaos, and over time, those choices add up. They become your rhythm, your system, your way of moving through the world without losing yourself in the process. So take your time, pay attention, notice what drains you, notice what fills you, and adjust accordingly. Not drastically, not all at once, just gradually, consistently, with intention. Because that's how sustainable productivity actually works, not by doing more, but by doing what matters in a way that lets you keep going. And that's what this is really about, not just getting things done, but staying whole while you do. You'll figure it out, not perfectly, but enough. And that's more than enough.